Right. You mentioned that you always wanted to write an original song for a movie. So what? Take me back to your response to when you actually got the material for Ferdinand, and what engaged you to want to be able to do that dream with this particular project.
It was a few things. I think talking to Carlos, the director, was a big piece of the puzzle. Hearing his vision for it and the clarity of kind of what he wanted in this moment in the film, and then he showed me the clip of the spot they were looking for, and I had a sense right away of what I wanted it to be. But when you're writing a song for a film like this, there's a lot of input, and sort of key points, key words maybe that they think might be good, or even tempo and other things that come into the equation. So I spent a little bit of time working on it and just wasn't cracking the code. A couple different songwriting sessions where I felt like it's not right yet, and I was putting a lot of pressure on myself. And then towards the last sort of week of the deadline, I went in the studio with Justin Tranter, who's one of my favorite people to write with, and we just started talking about life and about home and what it means to feel at home. Because when you look at these beautiful images from this film, that's what it makes you feel, And we both just said, family and that feeling of acceptance and being exactly where you are when you're supposed to be there in that moment. And the song just happened within, I think, a couple hours. It was written, and it was just us and an acoustic guitar, but it felt like it had the heart for this moment. And being able to create two versions for the film as well, both the one in the movie and then in the credits afterwards, I think was a nice way to have kind of my version and the film version, and I'm thrilled with it.
Talk about the process in terms of participating in the film version, because obviously there are flamenco elements given to what the back setting in Spain. If you could talk about working with Carlos on that.
Yeah, so the film is set in Spain, so I think infusing some of those Spanish music influences in there was really important. And even in the songwriting, there's the chanting bit that we did that kind of felt like if you were at a football stadium and everyone was singing soccer, football, that. And then we teamed up with John Powell, who's the composer for the film, and did the score, and he's brilliant. And he played me his concept at first for taking the song and doing it in that way with some of the Spanish influences, and I was blown away. I love that music, and I've never really tapped too far into it myself, but hearing a song that I'd written produced in that way was incredible, and just gave it even more life.
What was your reaction to the film sort of deals with being uncompromising in what you believe, and the figure of Ferdinand? Do you think that that's something that will appeal to audiences of all ages? And what do you think about the message that character portrays in the film?
I think it's a really important story and a really important message, and it has been for a very long time. The original book goes back a very long time. But specifically right now, we're in a time in the world where believing what you believe and standing by that is so important, and also embracing all people from all walks of life and the people that they want to be, and accepting others for who they are, and at its core, I think it's really about being a loving person, not wanting to fight. Violence is such a big part of our world today, and I think this is a story that will live on for a long time and hopefully have a really positive impact on the world.
The movie also deals with our preconception of what strength is. So it's a two-part question. What would be an unexpected strength that you have that we wouldn't know about, and who represents strength? Somebody from your own life that represents strength to you that we might not associate with the typical definition of strength.
Yeah, I think strength is as a subject matter as a whole something I'm really drawn to, and the standards we put on people to be strong and these different things. And to answer your question, I think it's two parts. My father is someone that I think is an incredibly strong person, both emotionally, mentally, and his heart, his care for other people. I think being generous is a very hard thing at times, and it's easy to look at yourself and think about your needs, but if you're able to look at others and think about them first, I think that shows a lot of strength in a person, and he does that, and it's a beautiful thing, and I hope to be more like that myself.
So there's a throwaway line in the movie where the hedgehogs go like, this gives me the happies. Outside of music, what gives you the happies?
Time.
Imagine music would be the main thing that gives you
Yeah,
the
music
happies.
is, and then spending time with my nieces. I have two beautiful nieces, and playing golf. I love golf, and then getting time with my friends. I'm traveling so much and all over the place. So that quality time I get with them is really important to me, and my brother and brothers in our relationship. So I really value those moments, and then good food. I like a good meal. So wherever I am in the world, if I can sit down and have a good meal, I'm happy.
Okay. As somebody, I think the movie also proposes that when you find your thing, that sort of opens you up to be kind to other people. As somebody who has found the thing that makes them happy professionally and personally, do you agree with that part of the message of the movie?
I think that there's definitely a joy you feel when you're exactly where you need to be, doing what you need to be doing what you're meant to be doing, being totally authentic to who you are. A joy that comes with that, that is so pure, so incredible, and I know that when I'm happiest, it's when I'm thriving and whatever it is I feel I'm meant to be doing, whether that's music or acting or writing music. It's all about what drives you, what makes you happy, and people can see that. It's not just your closest friends who know when you're in a good mood or not. I think it's the world around you, that light that you give off when you're totally authentic to your truth is an incredible thing. It's very rare.
Carlos is somebody who's very sort of musically inclined. So was that a way to sort of bond, obviously, to complete the project? Talk about your relationship with him, engaging in that sense with him.
Carlos speaks that language, that music language, that as a writer is so important. When you're given an assignment, especially to say, okay, we need a song to fit this scene and to be like this, and he understands, that language that musicians speak of. Oh, okay. And I said to someone before, but there's some beautiful sweeping shots in this film where the landscape is kind of shown in this beautiful way, and I hear things when I see something like that. And he was able to communicate that with me and help kind of guide the conversation, which was really, really nice. And when you look at films like Ice Age and Rio, you can see, he does have a real sense of music being a big part of the storytelling, especially in Rio, and the beauty of the colors of his film and the sort of hyper-specific cultural references and things that I think are so important. And I just think he's brilliant. I'm happy to have had the chance to work with him.
Okay. So, given that film is forever, and this will live on long after we're gone, are you excited by the possibility that the same way that you were inspired as a musician to someday write a song for a movie, that you might do that for somebody else? Did you think about that once you finished doing the song?
I think about legacy all the time, actually. Because I think about the people that have inspired me, and most times it's artists or creators who are fearless, and go about their work with a real sort of fearless approach where they dive in head first, and it shows in the work, and so I hope that there is a kid sitting watching this film at some point in time, hearing this song and saying, wow, I would love to write a song like that for a film one day. If it happens, it'd be an honor. I mean, Alan Menken was that for me at a young age, and so many others, but that one stands out specifically. It's just one of the true great creators. And I don't know. We'll see. Maybe.
All right. Well, pleasure talking to you, sir.
You too. Thank you.
All right.